The Ganado Indians, a team with championship dreams, built for glory. They've got the talent, the grit, and the heart to go all the way. After a tough fight against a much bigger East Bernard, they've learned how to stand tall. Ganado is more than good. They're built for greatness. They're hungry, and nothing is going to stop them. On the other side, the Tidehaven Tigers, last year's state runner-up. They know the pain of coming up short. They've lost talent, but don't count them out. This is a team with a chip on their shoulder, ready to prove they still belong. They may be rebuilding, but Tidehaven never backs down. Both teams sit at 2-1, both with something to prove. Ganado looks to show they're headed for state glory. Tidehaven wants to remind everyone they're still fierce, still hungry for revenge. Find out who will rise right here on Crossroads Football Live.
Crossroads Football Live, presented by Victory Kia, is the place to be. Catch Max Williams along with Zach Brown and Ray Robinson. Crossroads Football Live, presented by Victoria Kia, the ultimate destination for South Texas football. Sponsored by Palace Bingo, Victoria All Sports, Frost Bank, Crossroads Football Live, presented by Victory Kia.
Welcome to Crossroads Football Live Week 4. I'm Max Williams, and we got a lot of scores that are going to be happening here in our area for both of these teams. And again, we're going to start off with their area. We got our game of the week. Ray Robinson is at the game between, again, Ganado and Tidehaven. But first, before we get to that, we wanted to get our viewer poll. Again, we asked everyone what our viewer poll was going to be for both sides, who would win this game. And again, a lot of people picked beforehand the Ganado Indians to beat the Tidehaven Tigers. And will that be the same? We're going to check out here the highlights for both teams. Let's start off going to the highlights here for both teams. Again, looking at it, Ganado lost a tough one to East Bernard last week. Tidehaven, they got a big win again last week over Hallettsville. So how would this do going into this matchup? Again, Tidehaven going in, we're going to start the game. Bryce Ullman getting the start on the play. As you can see, both of them are getting the handshakes on both sides. But here we go with the highlights in general. Here goes the play there for Tidehaven. Gets tackled there on the ground with the kickoff. But then the third play of the game here happened between the Tigers. Look at this punch in here for Ganado. They get it in. Nice time play there for Ganado on that one to get inside the end zone. Ganado then Bryce Ullman finds the touchdown, makes the play. Austin Pena, I told you, he's going to be a wide receiver to watch for the Ganado Indians. Ullman will respond in another play. Nice throw down to the sideline and finds another touchdown. Ganado, how about a response for the Ganado Indians over Tidehaven? They win 42-6 after that tough loss to East Bernard last week, everybody. They play Flatonia again at home next week, while Tidehaven, they start off district play against Willis Brazos. And again, now we're going to get to information here. We got, again, Ray Robinson had information talking to Ganado head coach Josh Irvin at the game.
Max, your game of the week just concluded and saw Ganado walk away with the victory as they beat Tidehaven. Final score 42-6. And I got Coach Josh Irvin here with me. He was a former player of Tidehaven's head coach, Danny Lucio, man. So can you just talk about, the how did it feel playing against a former coach of yours?
It was definitely weird. To be honest with you, I don't like it because I love Coach Lucio. He's done a lot for me. Forever love him. He's a great guy, great coach. And I don't know. It is fun to compete against people like that, though, because he is a great coach, great team. But I don't know. I like it when I get to root for him from behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's safe to say you made him proud, Yeah, now, one thing, the score speaks for itself, man. How satisfied are you with this victory? What's some post-game thoughts?
There's a lot of positives. Defensively, we came out, set the tone, I think, on the first drive, getting the interception, we scored right after. So, I mean, we came out, set the tone, momentum-wise was in our favor. We held on to it. In terms of satisfied, there's a lot of positives, but there's still a lot we got to work on. And I think that's just how it's always going to be. And so we just got to come ready Monday and get better to start district next week.
Yeah, district. You said district, and I mean, it's safe to say that the momentum is in you guys' favor. So can you just talk about how you guys plan on capitalizing on this momentum from this game going into some district play next week?
For sure. We just got to get better. Get better on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then go play a good game next Friday. And no matter the outcome, just keep continuing that process week after week, building on every week. We got a tough one with Latonia this week, and so we're excited for the challenge.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much.
Yes,
appreciate you. Good luck to you guys. All right. Max, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ray. What a game that was between, actually not really a good game at all. Ganado took care of business there in that one. But what about Victoria West? They're looking to keep their undefeated season again at home versus Beeville Jones. Again, West right now, they had a nice win over San Antonio Sam Houston last week. And Beeville Jones, they're trying to respond. They had a win against Ingleside last week. Can they get a big-time win against Victoria West going into this one? Going into the first quarter. What a nice run here from the running back there for Victoria West, Brody Flores. Man, he's like small in size, but that doesn't matter. Look at the toughness, looking at getting in the end zone. West up 7-0. Then again, afterwards, Dominic Martinez has a nice throw out there to Travis Bernard. Gets a nice little pickup there inside the red zone. They would score on the next play there for West. And that would keep it going for 14-0. But at the end of the day, West would get a big-time win, score a lot more points. They win 46-25 over Beeville Jones, and now they keep undefeated right now, 4-0, and they get to go to next week to start up district play against San Antonio McCullum in that matchup. And now looking at it, what about the other Victoria school for both teams? Again, did not check up there the score for both sides. Again, we will keep you updated on this one later on in the show. But now, how about this one? We're going to go to the Cuero Gobblers. They're going to battle Corpus Christi Miller, the Buccaneers. Again, that got destroyed. That's a tough team in DeSoto last week. So how will Miller respond in this one? Let's check out the highlights. And Cuero, they got, again, tough spots. How about the run there from the Buccaneers? Nice run inside the end zone. Up the middle for star running back Broderick Taylor. That'll get up there 7-0. They would then, the next play, how about that run again? It was after a block punt, took care of business, made the play. But how about Jackson Marie? Throws it down, nice little throw. How about to the sideline to Walker Dietz? A credible one-handed grab. And again, that gave them some life for the Gobblers. Will that really help out in the end? It would not. Again, Corpus Christi Miller gets a big-time win, responds after that loss there to DeSoto, 56-21. And again, for Cuero, they're going to have to respond because they get to travel to Belton next week. All right, so coming up after the break, we're going to check in with Zach Brown, again, who is actually at Shiner Industrial for that game, and we'll see other scores happening on Crossroads Football Live.
This portion of Crossroads Football Live is brought to you by Victory Kia.
Oh. Welcome back here to Crossroads Football Live. I'm Max Williams. So we saw some scores there. A kind of good job there from Ganado. We saw again the Cuero Gobblers get beat up by Corpus Christi Miller. Let's go down to Shiner, where they play the Industrial Cobras today in this matchup. Again, this was a high-scoring game between both sides for both of the teams. Again, the Comanches, they got things started with a big quarterback run to the outside by Carson Schutte. There's the highlights for a second. We'll let it go there. How about there for Industrial? Making a play. Look at Shiner coming there out of the play. There we go. Now here comes with it. Nice job here from Carson Schutte, making a play, getting in the end zone, finding it in for the first score of the game. But the Cobras, they responded back with a big quarterback run of their own. How about that run there by Nick Kuchar? Takes it all the way to the house, untouched for a long run, and makes it there to get the score on the way. But the Shiner Comanches, they respond right back. What a throw there down to the sideline, making a play. That's there to Bo Baum. Makes a nice play down the sideline and a big-time catch. But Schutte, again, delivers on an accurate ball and makes a play there. And how about that into the end zone and finds a way to get it done. And again, let's go check out here the final score in this one. And actually, we're going to go check it here because we got Zach Brown's going to tell us some information about this game that turned out a little closer than we expected in this one. But let's take it there to Zach Brown, who's got a coach in mind. Zach?
Well, the stadium's empty now. It's very quiet, but just 30 minutes ago, it was very loud. The Shiner Comanches finally in the win column, getting the victory over the Industrial Cobras. Final score 49-21. It was a dominant victory. Carson Schutte led the way for the purple and gold. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's a phenomenal leader, but Industrial wasn't going anywhere. This was a game at the half, but Shiner just able to be the more disciplined team in the second half. We saw in the fourth quarter the Cobras had time and time again to get into this ball game. This game actually came down to an onside kick. Shiner, this is not unfamiliar territory for the Comanches. Last year they started 0-5, so their 0-3 start was not any cause for concern. This team last year that started 0-5 still went 2 rounds deep into the postseason and still looked very good. So this 0-3 start, they know that they're just fine-tuning things. As a matter of fact, I heard head coach Daniel Bedeker telling his guys the same thing. We just really need to key in on just being a more disciplined football team, and the sky is the limit for us. Shiner next week has one more non-district football game before they hit district play. That is a district that Shiner is projected to run through. Now, on that other side of the coin, we have the Industrial Cobras. They are 0-4. Can they get their season back on tracks? Hey, good thing about football, you always get next week. Reporting live from Shiner, Zach Brown, KVUTV 25 News Now Sports.
All right, thanks, Zach. How about a good win there for Shiner, winning their first win of the season. Industrial, they're now there to 0-4. Let's go here to the private sector of Victoria St. Joseph versus Hallettsville Sacred Heart. How will this game turn out? Again, for both of these teams, trying to get a big entrance, but we start off with a big throw there for the St. Joseph Flyers. How about that? Aiden, good play down to the sideline. That's a nice throw, but how about Aiden Aragon? That's a nice little throw inside to the end zone. Touchdown there, Sacred Heart. They would tie the game up there at a piece, and it would turn out to be not a bad game. Let's check out here the final score. And like I said, St. Joseph 14-13. Aiden Aragon was the difference for the St. Joseph Flyers over Sacred Heart. Again, they're going to be going to play Fort Worth Christian next week, while again, for Sacred Heart, they have a bye. Now again, we look at some other teams here. Let's go out to see the triple option up here with Calhoun. How did they do today? They played the Stafford Spartans in Houston area. Still, they have not won a game this season. They lost 20-13. They get to host again Mexico City, Mexico next week. And now going into the next matchup here, let's check out again our band of the week, right? Again, we look at both sides. Again, Calhoun, who is it going to be? It'll be the Calhoun Sand Crabs. They're going to win it there. Again, they're led by a lot of good people there for the band. They did a great job overall. Props up there for the Calhoun Sand Crabs. It was Industrial here for last week. And then again, overall, Calhoun Sand Crabs get the band of the week this week. And stay with us, folks. We're going to come back here with some more score updates here with some more games coming up here on Crossroads Football Live.
We are the Sand Crab Marching Band, and you're watching Crossroads Football.
Crossroads Football Live is brought to you by Frost Bank. Exactly what you unexpected.
All right, welcome back everyone here to Crossroads Football Live. And we saw a lot of different scores that happened, but now when we look at this, who's going to be another team that we're going to look at? We saw Ganado, we saw Calhoun, we saw everybody else, but let's go over to Refugio. How did they do against Cypress Christian? And man, they had again tough loss to Edna. Zach Brown was at that game there last week, but they took care of business tonight against Cypress Christian. Win 41-14. Heathen Brown had a great day, passed for a lot of yards again in this one against Cypress Christian Community College. And and goes with it as well. Let's check out some of the highlights here for this game, right? You look at Refugio, they try to come in here a little bit angry. And then first off, it didn't start off great there for Refugio. It was, again, interception there. Cypress Christian takes it back to the house and then scores. But then after that, they found a way to get it done. And again, they start off slow, but they get the job done. Again, we saw the final score. They won 41-14 for Refugio. They play again next week in that one. Now, what about El Campo? They actually, again, won big over Brian Rutter there last week. They travel to Needville tonight to play the Blue Jays. And how will they get back on track? The Ricebirds, their last non-district game was going to be at home, and before they play Giddings in this one. So, again, we look at the both teams. They get a job done overall. There's the final score, 31-28 over Needville in that game. Like I mentioned, they play Giddings next week in conference play. And now, how about this for Yoakum? They trying to get back on track again against Columbia tonight. Again, they played Cuero in that outstanding high-power game, but they lost a tough one in this one. Here again is the final score. The Columbia Roughnecks, they're going to get another win over Yoakum. That's 2 straight losses in a row. They lose there 43-28. They play Austin Hyde Park there next week. All right, so stay with us, everybody. We've covered a lot of games. We're not done yet. We still got Louise, we got Yorktown, we got Bloomington. When we come back here on Crossroads Football Live.
This segment of Crossroads Football Live is brought to you by Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Crossroads Football Live. We've gone through a couple of scores. We saw Calhoun, we saw Refugio, we saw Ganado take care of business against Tidehaven. But let's go to Louise, where they play Shiner St. Paul tonight. Louise Hornets hosted the Shiner St. Paul Cardinals after a brief flyover was there. Look at that right there for Louise. Again, but the highlights, what we'll see, Shiner St. Paul, they start off the game with a first down run. How about that run right there, keeping it going, making a nice play for the first down. But the Hornets, they come right back, and they get their turn. Their quarterback shifts to the right side, looks, and how about that catch to get there for the first down? Nice play for Louise. The Hornets continue their pass game with another solid catch down the sideline, and how about that? To a touchdown. Nice play there, and he's showing off to get the play at the end. Then Louise, how about the quarterback? Scrambling out there to the outside. Number 7 says, I'll take it in for the end zone. Making a nice play there for Louise. And Louise, they played really well here tonight, but it didn't get the job done. They made a lot of plays. You saw they did stuff, but Shiner St. Paul got the win at the end of the day. They win 26-12 over the Louise Hornets, and they got to go respond back here for Louise because they played 4 straight home games, and now they got to turn back around to win in that one. But how about we go to another game with the Yorktown Wildcats. They're hoping again to build from last week's win over Skidmore Titan. And this week they play the Taft Greyhounds. The Taft Greyhounds, David Davis Jr. goes 13 yards and drags a couple there to Yorktown defenders into the end zone to get the early lead. But Yorktown, they would again respond right back, and they would get in the end zone. Matthew Olgen go up 9-6. And what a night, though, was for Andrew Martinez. He was crowned Taft's homecoming king pregame, but that didn't really matter because Taft got a big play from Sergio Leal to break the tackle and a 12-yard gain. And now let's look here to the final score. Yorktown, they get a win here over the Taft Greyhounds, 30-19. How about the win there for Yorktown? They're going to respond again playing the Bruni Badgers next week at home. Now let's check quickly some other scores here in our Crossroads area as well. Here we go at the Hallettsville Bramas. They lost to Rice Consolidated. Rice Consolidated is undefeated still, and they've only allowed 6 points this season. They didn't allow any points the first 3 games. And again, Beeville Jones is the next opponent for Hallettsville. We saw earlier played Victoria West. We now transition over there to Van Fleck versus Bloomington. They beat up the Bloomington Bobcats.